Welcome students to lecture 9 of motion in a straight line. In last lecture we completed motion under gravity in case of a freely falling body. Now in this session we are going to discuss about when an object is projected vertically upwards, what are the parameters of the object when it is moving under gravity vertically upward direction. So let us begin the session. Right. Let us take an object is thrown vertically upwards by giving some initial velocity u. We know that already as the object is thrown vertically upwards, slowly as it is reaching the heights, the acceleration is going to be reduced. That means the velocity is going to be decreases. The velocity is becomes zero at its highest point, and the object is moving with a constant retardation, that is acceleration equals to minus g. Now let us take after some time what happens, the object reaches the highest point. At highest point what will happen? At highest point its final velocity becomes 0. And what is the initial velocity? Initial velocity equals to u. The whatever the distance traveled by the, in this case, we are going to take the maximum height as capital H. Okay, that means displacement is equals to capital H when its final velocity becomes 0. So that height is known to be maximum height. And time taken for its journey is, let us take t. Now let us apply the equations of motion for this vertically projected upwards body. Let us apply the first equation of motion. From first equation of motion, what is first equation of motion? V equals to u plus at. So in a case of a vertically projected upwards body, what is its final velocity? Final velocity becomes 0. It has some initial velocity. Acceleration is minus g into t. Therefore u is equals to gt. Therefore t equals to u by g, we can write. So here if you observe, this is the first equation of motion for an object which is thrown vertically upwards and moving under the influence of the gravitational force. So what is this time? So this time, it is the time taken by a body to reach maximum height. So this time taken is known to be time of ascent. So time of ascent is denoted by TA. So time of ascent we can write it as u by g. So from this expression we can understand that so time of ascent at particular position or particular place is directly proportional to u, because why? If the place changes from place to place, the acceleration due to gravity will be changes. So if you throw the two bodies with different velocities, one is thrown with an initial velocity of u1, from the same location another object is thrown with an initial velocity u2, then what is the ratio of the time of ascent between the two bodies? So which object has the greater velocity? So which is thrown vertically upwards with greater velocity, for suppose u2 greater than u1. What is the meaning of that? If the initial velocity of an object is maximum, then it covers the maximum height compared to the another object. That means it has the greater time of ascent to become its velocity 0. So until its velocity becomes 0, the object is moving vertically upward direction. So we can write, so TA1 by TA2 is equals to U1 by U2. So when G is constant. So this is case 1. Now let us discuss one more case at two different places. Okay, at one place it is acceleration due to gravity g1, another place acceleration due to gravity is g2. Now we are throwing the bodies with the same velocity. So both are thrown into air with the same velocity. Then time of ascent is inversely proportional to acceleration due to gravity from this equation number 1. So therefore, what we can say, if the acceleration due to gravity is more, then time of ascent will be less. If acceleration due to gravity is less, that means if g is more, time of ascent is less, and if g is less, time of ascent will be more. That is the relation between time of ascent and acceleration due to gravity at a particular place. Therefore we can write t1 by t2 is equals to g2 by g1. Okay, let us take this is as equation number 2 and this is as equation number 3. So in this way we can relate the time of ascent by keeping acceleration due to gravity constant and by keeping velocity of the object constant at different locations. That means at two different points the acceleration due to gravity is different. So this is about first equation of motion when the object is thrown vertically upwards. Now let us apply the second equation of motion. So what is second equation of motion? So second equation of motion for an object which is moving along a straight line, ut plus half at square. So for this vertically projected upwards body, u equals to u and distance s is equals to h, we can write. So after time we are going to find its height. Acceleration due to gravity will be minus g. Now let us write s is equals to u t minus half gt square. In the place of this s we can write ut minus half gt square. So what is the small h? The small h is nothing but after time t, the vertical distance after t seconds, the height of the object above the surface of earth. So at any instant of time we are going to calculate the height of the object. Now let us take equation number 3. So what is equation number 3? So according to equation number 3 we know that v square minus u square is equals to 2as. So we know the value final velocity 0, 0 square, initial velocity u square, 2 into minus g into h we can write. So we know that when final velocity becomes 0, then what will be the h value? H is going to, we can write as maximum height. So I am replacing that small h with the capital H, which represents the maximum height. Right. So minus u square. So negative sign cancel on both sides. Therefore u square is equals to 2gh. Therefore the maximum height reached by an object when it is thrown vertically upward direction, h is equals to u square by 2g. So now from this again we can analyze some important points here. So let us take, if we observe that equation carefully, so h directly proportional to u square. That means if we throw the two objects from the same location or from the same acceleration due to gravity, then u1 and u2, therefore we can write h1 by h2 is equals to u1 by u2 whole square. So this is the ratio of maximum heights covered by an object when it is thrown with the different initial velocities from the same location. Now here g is constant, g is fixed because we are throwing the two bodies from the same place. Now let us take one more case. If we are throwing the two objects from the two different places. At place 1 the acceleration due to gravity is g1, at place 2 the acceleration due to gravity is g2. So with the same initial velocity we are throwing both the bodies. Then maximum height reached by the bodies are inversely proportional to acceleration due to gravity. Therefore h1 by h2 we are going to write g2 by g1. So based on this we can get the questions like this. A person can jump to a maximum height of 20 meter on surface of earth. So when he jumps on the surface of moon, so what is the height reached by the person? So therefore acceleration due to gravity on g on earth we can write g, on surface of moon will be g by 6, that means 6 times less than the acceleration due to gravity on earth. Therefore h1 is 20 and h2 is, we need to find how, to what height he can able to jump on the surface of moon. So g2, so g2 nothing but what, g by 6, g1 is g itself, so g get cancelled. Therefore we are going to get h2 is equals to 20 into 6, that is 120 meter. That means on the surface of the moon, if he apply the same force on the ground, he can jump to a height of 120 meter. So in this way we expect the question related to this concept. Okay, now let us discuss some applications related to the vertically projected upwards body. So very important application. With the help of these applications we can easily analyze, we can easily do the problems related to the vertically projected upwards body. Right, let us write. From a tower of height h, the height of the tower is h, an object is under free fall, so u equals to 0. Next, at the same instant of time, another object is thrown vertically upwards with an initial velocity u. Okay, try to understand the scenario. From a tower of height h, from a tower of height h, an object is freely falling at the same instant of time, at same instant of time another object is thrown vertically upwards with with an initial velocity of u. So this is a scenario. So now based on this application we are going to discuss some important points related to this. So first point, after t seconds, after t seconds the separation between the bodies. So what will be the separation between the bodies, we need to find in this case. Now let us see, after t seconds, this is object 1, let us consider, and this is object 2. So object 1 is under free fall, object 2 is thrown vertically upwards. Right. So after t seconds I am writing for free fall. So the object which is under free fall, after t seconds the distance covered So we can write, I am writing it as, for suppose till here it reaches, so this height I am taking as h1. So h1 we can write free fall ut plus half gt square, and here what is the initial velocity? Initial velocity is 0, therefore h is equals to half gt square is the distance travelled by the body after t seconds. Now in the same way, in that same time interval, this object will also reaches to a particular height. That height I am taking as h2. The time for both the bodies will be same when it is at a covers a distance of h1, and it will be covers a distance of h2. Now for vertically projected upwards body, for vertically body, what we can write, h2 is equals to ut minus half gt square, because it has some initial velocity. So what is our aim? Our aim is to find separation between the bodies. So separation between the bodies is nothing but this one. So this is the separation. That x we can write separation, x is equals to h minus of h1 plus h2 we can write. If you observe the figure carefully, we can understand that this is the separation. So what is the separation? X is the separation. To get x value, we know the value of h1 and h2. With the help of that h1 and h2, we can write x as h minus h1 plus h2. Let us substitute the values. H minus u h1. What is h1? Half gt square plus ut minus half gt square we can write. So half gt square get cancelled. The separation between the points or between the bodies after t seconds will be h minus ut. So this is the separation. That means with the help of the initial velocity of the second object and height of the tower and whatever the time taken, we can easily find out the separation between the two bodies after t seconds under this scenario. Now let us extend this scenario. For suppose if they meet at a point, if they meet at a point, so when they meet at a point, what will happen? When the two bodies are meeting at a particular point, so what will happen? The separation between them will be x to be 0. So here they are going to meet. So what is the separation? Separation to be 0. If they meet, separation is 0. So h minus ut equals to 0. Therefore h is equals to ut. Therefore t is equals to h by u. So this is the direct formula we need to apply when the case will be given like this. An object is under free fall from a height of the tower 100 meter. At the same instant of time, another object is thrown with an initial velocity of 20 meter per second. They are going to frame the question like this. After how much of time they are going to meet in air? So after how much of time they are going to meet in air? After t is equals to h by u. So what is the h value? What is the height of the tower? 100 meter. And what is the initial velocity of the body which is thrown vertically upwards? 20. Therefore after 5 seconds both the bodies are going to meet at a particular point. So what is the separation? If they are asking, separation is equals to h minus ut. If they are meeting at a particular point, what happens? The separation becomes 0. We can write h minus ut is 0. Therefore the time after they meet will be equals to h by u. Now for suppose where they are meeting, for suppose both the bodies are meeting in air. I am extending the same application. So the objects are meeting in air at this particular point. So now the question is, what is the height of meeting above the surface of earth. That means they are asking height of the point where the two objects will meet above the ground. That we need to find. This height we need to find. For suppose this height I am taking as y. Okay. So let us see, if we calculate the height of the object which is thrown vertically upwards, that is enough. So I am applying the same case here. So to reach this point, what is the time taken by this object is equals to h by u. Right, time taken to meet t equals to h by u, and distance s is equals to y, and initial velocity is u. Okay, right, and a is equals to minus g. I am applying the for second body. So S is equals to ut minus half gt square. That is the formula. So S is nothing but what, y. So u, after how much of time they are going to meet? After h by u seconds they are going to meet. Half into g. What is the value of th by u whole square? Therefore u cancels. Therefore h minus gh square by 2u square. This is the height of the point where they will meet above the surface of the earth. Okay, right. Let us extend this also. Now the question is, at what time their velocities will be equal? So if this is freely falling, as it is moving in vertically downward direction, so what happens? Its velocity is going to increase due to increase in acceleration. So for suppose its final velocity becomes v1. So what is initial velocity of this? Initial velocity of the freely falling body is 0, and then initial velocity of the vertically projected upwards body is equals to u. So u2 is equals to u. So now they are asking the time after which their velocities are equal in magnitude. They are asking at what time they both are going to get the equal magnitudes of velocity. So let us find. So v1 is equals to u1 plus gt, because I am assuming that the time will be t. After so and so time, the both the velocities will be equal. Next, this is for free fall. Next, vertically projected body, what we can write? v2 is equals to u2 minus gt. So this is number 1 and number 2. Right, they are asking their velocity should be equal. So u1 is 0. So 0 plus gt is equals to u minus gt. So we can write 2gt is equals to u. Therefore t is equals to u by 2g. That is, after t is equals to u by 2g seconds, both the bodies will have the equal velocities. So this is the time after the bodies will attaining the equal final velocities or equal velocities. Right, let us extend the same application. Right, for suppose if they meet at midpoint, if they meet at midpoint, then velocity of object which is thrown upwards. Right, So now the object is thrown upwards. We don't know its velocity. So initial velocity we need to find. So when they are meeting exactly at midpoint of its journey. For suppose if the height is h, the distance travelled by the first body is h by 2 and second body is also h by 2. They are going to meet at a particular point. Now h1 we can write. This is I am taking as h1 and this is h2. So h1 is equals to, for freely falling body we can write half g t square. This is for free fall. And next, for second vertically projected upwards body. For vertically projected upwards body, what we can write? h2 is equals to ut minus half g t square. So the both the points are both the bodies are meeting at the midpoint. That means the distance travelled by the first body is equals to distance travelled by second body. Then we can equate the 1 and 2. So by equating that 1 and 2, we are going to get half gt square is equals to ut minus half gt square. So let us bring this side. So half gt square, if it will be on the left side, plus half gt square, that is equals to ut we can write. So this is gt square is equals to ut. So we can write t get cancelled, therefore gt equals to u. But we know that when they will meet, the time of meeting of the object will be u. So therefore t equals to h by u. Substitute here, t equals to h by u, that into u, therefore gh is equals to u square. Therefore velocity of projection of the object is gh, under root of gh. Here without any information about the initial velocity, the question can be framed like this: the both the bodies are meeting exactly at midpoint, then what is the velocity of the object which is thrown vertically upwards? So in this way we can analyze the concepts related to the when an object is freely falling from a particular height and another object is thrown vertically upwards. Okay, now this is a very important application. Right, now let us discuss one more application. Right, let us see, an object is thrown vertically upwards. So we know that when the object is thrown vertically upwards, it crosses the same point at two different instants of the time. For suppose I am taking, it crosses a point P which is above the surface of earth at height h. It crosses the point P at two instant of time. This is from the projection at point of projection O. Now it reaches the point P, or it crosses the point P after t1 seconds while it is going upward direction. Now in the same way, it continues its journey until its velocity becomes 0. Then again after, what will happen? Again it will be reaching to the point. So see, so in this way the object is moving vertically upward direction. It crosses a point P after t1 second which is above the h from the ground. Now it reaches the ground. Again when it is going to strike the ground, it crosses the same level which is above the surface of earth at height of h after t2 seconds. So from the point of projection, the time taken will be t2. So try to understand the scenario carefully. So an object definitely crosses the a particular point at two different times after it projected vertically upwards. So first, if it crosses point P after t1 seconds while moving upwards. Next, it crosses point P after t2 seconds from the initial position, not from point B2, from the initial position after t2 second while coming down. Now there is information about only T1 and T2. Now they are going to ask the different questions based on this concept. First we will apply the equations of motion for this. So we can write according to first second equation of motion, the height of the point P is h. So after how many seconds it crosses? For suppose after t seconds it crosses the point P, let us take. So after t seconds, so h is equals to ut minus half gt square. So we can write this as 2h 2ut minus gt square we can write. Now let us write this as gt square minus 2ut minus plus 2h is equals to 0. So we got a quadratic equation. So with the help of this quadratic equation, so we are going to find out the roots of the expression for time. So what is the use of the roots for the quadratic equation? Because we have the two times. One is while it is moving upwards it crosses the point P. Another one is while it is moving downwards it crosses the point P. Let us use the expression. What is the expression? Gt square minus 2ut plus 2h is equals to 0. So now let us write t. I am going to find. I am going to use the expression that formula as minus b plus or minus root of b square minus 4ac by 2a. I am going to use here. So t value I am going to minus of minus 2 in the format of ax square minus bx plus c. This is the format of this. So minus of minus 2u. So b value is minus 2u only. Next, plus or minus root of b square. What is b square? Minus 2u whole square minus 4. A value is g and c value is 2h by 2 into a value is g. Therefore 2u minus into minus plus or minus. So 2u whole square nothing but 4u square minus 8gh by 2g. So we can take the common 2u plus or minus. So here 2 will come, 4 comes outside, will become as 2 here. I am taking the 2 common. So u square minus 2gh. Here also 4 into 2 we can write. 4 will comes outside. I am taking the common that, and denominator will be g and by 2. So 2 cancel out. Therefore u plus or minus under root of u square minus 2gh by g is a solution for the quadratic equation. So we have two roots here. So one is t1. I am going to write u plus under root of u square minus 2gh by g, and t2 we can write u minus under root of u minus 2gh by g. So now let us add the roots. So now I am taking sum of the roots. So sum of the roots I am going to get as t1 plus t2. So after doing t1 plus t2, what I am going to get? So here u by g plus under root of u square minus 2gh by g plus u by g minus under root of u square minus 2gh by g. So these two will get cancelled, therefore 2u by g is equals to t1 plus t. That means the sum of roots is equals to 2u by g. So this 2u by g nothing but it is equals to time of flight. What is mean by time of flight? It is the time taken for a body, how long it will remains in the air, that is known to be time of flight. That means while going up it will take some time, and while coming down also it will take some time. Therefore the time of ascent and time of descent is known to be time of flight. The time of flight value is equals to 2u by g. Sir, what is the use of this expression? With the help of this expression, with roots, we are going to find out its initial velocity. So velocity of projection. So what we are going to get? 1 by 2 into g times of t1 plus t2. So is our velocity of projection. So very important application. So with the help of the sum of roots, we are going to get the velocity of projection of the body. Now let us multiply the roots. So when we are multiplying the roots, so t1 into t2. So what is t1? U plus under root of u square minus 2gh by g into u minus under root of u square minus 2gh by g. So we can write this is as 1 by g square. In the format of a plus b into a minus b, this is a plus b and this is a minus b, we can write a square minus b square. So a square is what? U square minus b square. B square u square minus 2gh whole square. Therefore 1 by g square u square minus u square minus of minus 2gh will be plus 2gh. G get cancelled. Therefore T1 T2 is equals to 2h by g. That means the product of roots is given by 2h by g. Sir, what is the use of this expression? So with help of this expression we are going to find the height of point P. Therefore h is equals to 1 by 2 g times of T1 into T2. Right. So with help of this expression we can also find out the maximum height reached by the object. So maximum height. So what is the formula for maximum? This is not, h is not maximum. H is what? It is a point in its journey where it crosses the point at 2 times. So h is equals to u square by 2g. Already we have the value of u as 1 by 2g into t1 plus t2. Let's substitute here h is equals to 1 by 2, 1 by 2 whole square means 1 by 4 g square t1 plus t2 whole square by 2g we are going to get. So g get cancelled. Therefore 1 by 4 in the denominator, that will be 1 by 8g times of t1 plus t2 whole square. So this is the way of finding the maximum height reached by an object in this condition. Okay, and here we are also going to derive an expression. So what is the magnitude of velocity while crossing point P? So magnitude of velocity while crossing the point P. So the final velocity we need to find it when it is crosses the point P. V square minus u square is equals to 2as v square minus u square is equals to 2 into this value we are going to get g, and this will be h. After using this expression and substituting the values, we are going to get g into t2 minus t1 by 2. So this is only rewriting, so no need of writing that all the values here. So directly I am giving the formula. So g into t2 minus t1 by 2, this is the magnitude of velocity of the particle while it is crossing the point P. Okay, so this is an important application. Now let's discuss one more application related to this. Right, so an object is projected vertically upwards with a velocity u1. After x seconds, another object is thrown vertically upwards with the initial velocity u2. Okay, so here we are going to discuss two different cases here. Case 1, if u2 greater than u1, so what will happen? If u2 greater than u1, both the bodies are going to meet at a particular point. Okay, na? So when they meet, they will meet at a point if h1 is equal to h. That means the whatever the height vertical distance covered by the object 1 is equal to object 2, then only both the bodies are going to meet at a particular instant of time. Only this condition is satisfied. If u2 is less than u1, this condition will be never satisfied. Okay, right. For first object I am writing, for suppose the time taken by the particle to cover the height h1 is t seconds, then what will be the time for this? Because it is thrown after x second later, to reach the same point it will take the time of t minus x. Therefore we are going to write u1 into t minus half gt square is equals to u2 into t minus x, because the time for reaching the same height as object 1, the time taken by it is t minus x minus half into g t minus x whole square. Okay, our aim is to find what? Our aim is to find the time for the, so what will be the time taken by the first body to reach that point we need to find out. So let us simplify this. u1t minus half gt square, so multiply this u2t minus u2x minus 1 by 2 g times of a square plus b square minus 2ab, right? u2t minus u2x minus half gt square minus half gx square, so minus into minus plus 1 by 2 g into 2 tx, so 2 get cancelled, so here minus half gt square minus half gt square on LHS and RHS get cancelled. Therefore what is left? We can write this as u1 t, I am shifting this u2t on left side, so u2t is equals to minus u2x minus half gx square plus gt x we are going to get here, right? Now let us take the common minus, so minus I am taking common, that's why I am writing u2 minus u1 into t, so minus of u2x plus half gx square plus gt x, so this minus minus get cancelled, so further we are going to get this as gt will be there. Let us bring this t also this side. u2 minus u1 into t minus gtx is equals to u2x plus half gx square. So again we can get the common as t from this. Sorry, here minus common we have taken, so here it will be minus, taking the common minus, and this side will be plus. So u2 minus u1 plus gx into t is equals to u2x plus half gx square. Our aim is to find t only, so for t u2x plus half gx square by u2 minus u1 plus gx. So this will be the time after where they are going to meet at a point if u2 greater than u1. Okay, right. So with the help of this final result, I am going to find out time for the first body and as well as the time for the second body. So what is the final expression here? The final expression we got as t is equals to u2x plus half gx square by u2 minus u1 plus gx. Right. If u1 equals to u2, that is equals to u, we will take. That means if the two objects are thrown with the same velocity in vertically upward direction, therefore, right, we can write u in the place of u1, u2. So t is equals to ux plus half gx square. So u2 minus u1 will be 0 plus gx. Let us separate this. T is equals to ux by gx plus half gx square by gx. So g get cancelled, x get cancelled, and here x get cancelled. Therefore what we are going to get, t is equals to u by g plus x by 2. This is for first body. Then what about for second body? For second body, u by g minus x by 2. This is for second body. For first body t1 I am taking, for second body t2 I am taking. So in this way we can simplify the problem related to the object thrown vertically upwards. And let us plot the graphs related to the when the object is thrown vertically upward direction. Before that, let us discuss one important point here, time of ascent and time of descent. So we know that already what is mean by time of ascent. It is a time taken by a body to reach maximum height from the ground. We can write it as Ta is equals to u by g. In the same way, after reaching to the maximum point, it won't stay there and it will reach the ground. So when it will reach the ground, it will take some time. The time will be is known to be time of descent. The time of descent is also equals to u by g. So time of descent nothing but it is the time taken by a body to reach the ground from maximum height. So the total time taken, how long it will be remains in air, that is known to be time of flight. So time of flight we can represent with capital T. So time of flight is the sum of time of ascent plus time of descent. Therefore u by g plus u by g, we are going to get it as 2u by g is the expression for time of flight. So how long it will remains in air, that is known to be time of flight. And from this we can also identify that Ta equals to Td. Sir, then what about fourth equation of motion for vertically projected upward body. So fourth equation of motion we can write h nth is equals to u minus g into n minus 1 by 2. This is the fourth equation of motion for vertically projected upwards body. Right, next let us plot the graphs related to this motion. So what we can observe here, as the object is moving vertically upward direction with constant acceleration but with negative sign. So a equals to minus g, that is a is constant. Then s is equals to ut minus half gt square. Okay, and then next we are going to get v. So what is v? So v directly proportional to t. These are the graphs. First I am plotting the graph for s and t. So s and t graph will be, so negative sign we can see. If it is negative sign, then the graph we are going to get like this until its velocity becomes 0. Right, this is vertically projected upwards body. Then what about velocity time graph? So velocity time graph will be a straight line. So it is a straight line, but what kind of acceleration it will be? So negative acceleration, therefore we are going to get the graph will be like this. So initial velocity and final velocity will be 0. So theta is greater than 90. If theta greater than 90, slope will be negative. If slope is negative, nothing but what? Vt graph. Slope of Vt graph gives acceleration. That means acceleration is negative. Then what about acceleration time graph? So acceleration and time graph we are going to plot in negative coordinate. So this will be constant. Okay, so this is about the graphs for vertically projected upwards body. Right, thank you, stay safe.